What's going on, everybody? This is ReKAP Sports, and we are going to be recapping Week 10 college football, Week 9 NFL.
Bro, we had such a great weekend.
Yep.
Didn't we, Harper? It was Halloween weekend. Mm-hmm. So, everybody, this is my daughter, my oldest, Harper Rose.
Hey, Harper.
She was dying to be on the show with us. So, can you give us a big roll tide?
Roll tide.
Yeah, that girl. Good job.
All right. Good job. Say what you wanted to say.
I'm giving away toys.
She's giving away toys to help all of the people in North Carolina. So if you have stuff that you want to get rid of to help the people who have been affected by the hurricanes, please do so. Okay. Good job,
I know we got a ton, too. Thank you, Harper. Great job, sweetie. All right. Yeah, college football, man. So last episode, we were talking about how there really wasn't a lot of big games.
Yep.
Turned out to be quite an eventful weekend for college football.
Dude, so many big games. Obviously, Bama didn't play, but we, just jump into it with Ohio State and Penn State, an 11 o'clock game, which is a shame.
It is a shame, yeah.
But great game. I mean, it started off quick, started off fast.
I thought Penn State was going to run away with it early.
Literally, no lie. They got the quick field goal, then the pick six. Right?
Thought it was over with.
Yeah. So that was a quick start to the game. Got a big lead, and then they just
Ohio State did what Ohio State does. Yeah. The so Will Howard, they kept posting that clip of him during the press conference earlier in the week, saying that he grew up in Pennsylvania, was never recruited by Penn State, and he's like, they told me I wasn't good enough.
I would agree. Just kidding.
But that's a real big going to Penn State, being from Penn State.
Yep.
Calling them out for not recruiting you, and you go in there and do that.
Yeah. No,
Kid's got a sack on him.
Aside from that, pick, he actually played really, really well.
The run game. They talked about it throughout. They talked about it throughout the game. Like their offensive line was just moving people from that Penn State line, and they dominated the run game, which obviously made Will Howard's life a whole lot easier. But man, there was that interception before halftime. Penn State was going in to score, and that dude had a fantastic interception. Somehow intercepted the ball in the end zone right there. But, yeah, a lot of people's calling for James Franklin's head at Penn State.
I saw that. He was getting into it with a fan in the stands afterwards,
Yeah, shout out to, Franklin, though, because that guy was barking at him, telling him how he felt, and he goes, all right, what's your name?
Yeah, if you're
going to be
if you're a man, tell me your name.
Yeah, you go talk to me like that, tell me your name. And he's like, no, I'm good.
Turn on his heels
took
and
off.
just ran up the stands. I'm like,
he's like, no, never mind, I'm good. But then, they showed another clip of him walking through the tunnel, and you started hearing the fans saying, fire Franklin. It's like, that's tough. But looking at his resume and looking at his history, he hasn't done anything there.
Yeah, I disagree. Obviously he hasn't won a championship, but they've won a lot of games. He has a win.
He's won a lot of games, but he hasn't won the game.
I understand. Yeah, I get you, but they've still had seasons where they've beat Ohio State, where they beat Michigan. Yes, it's helped Bama in the past.
I don't know.
Yes, they have.
We'll see though. As far as the end of the year, I don't know, but Ryan Day had a big target on his back too, because they were saying Ryan Day can't win the big games either. So that was a battle of who can win the big game, and so far Ryan Day's got the advantage.
Yes, he does. I was really honestly pulling. I didn't per se care who won, but I felt myself pulling for Penn State. But I'm not upset that Ohio State won.
Nah,
because Bama. So again, because this is because of Bama. I felt like even though Bama was ranked 15th, with them being 2 and 3, 3 and 4, that whoever lost their loss wouldn't necessarily help Bama at the time. But knowing their remaining schedule going forward, either one or both of them is going to lose again. So ultimately, it would help Bama in the long run.
Yeah, Bama's got to do their thing.
I'm glad that Ohio State did end up being Penn State due to the fact that both of those teams now have one loss.
Yeah.
So it's beneficial in that regards. All right, dude. So how about Boise State, though, man?
Yeah.
Like, they're having a phenomenal year. One loss, obviously, against Oregon.
Yep.
But Ashton Genty, though, is
Carrying them to the promised land.
quite literally.
Yeah.
His stats are unreal, unmatched. I mean, he's, in my eyes, a Derrick Henry equivalent.
Yeah, just a little bit smaller.
A little bit smaller, but yeah.
He's a bowling ball, man.
I've never seen, I mean, even with Derrick Henry, I've never seen anything quite like it at this point in the season.
Yeah, he's carrying them 100%, and he stays healthy, keeps producing this way. He's the runaway for the Heisman.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you
He's
next.
got to be, yeah.
Yeah, so you feel like he's...
The Heisman almost feels like, NFL equivalent to MVP. It's like a quarterback award.
Yeah.
The Heisman kind of feels that way, but...
I feel like he is a great representation of what the Heisman should be.
Yeah.
Is actually who the best player is for once.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I hope he wins. Who do you?
Yeah, it'd be good for Boise State.
Yeah.
It'd be good for the program.
Unfortunately, for a case like his, there will always come up the question of his competition.
Yeah, that's
Playing
crap.
the West, which is
But he's-
unfortunate, but I think he should be, to this point, the Heisman winner.
Yeah.
Yeah. With competition though, like we said, he played Oregon, so they did lose, but he still put up the numbers.
Yeah.
So-
No, he's been really good for them, and it's good to see you're rooting for a team like that who just comes out of nowhere and can put them in the conversation to make it to the playoff and be a tough team to play in the playoffs if they can rely on the running back like that.
Yeah. I'd feel worried if Bama had to play him. To be
No doubt.
honest.
Yeah, no doubt.
With what we've seen from our defense for most of the year, with the exception of a few games. But
Yeah, they've looked a little bit better here recently, but yeah, he'd run over a lot of teams.
So speaking of really good teams, let's talk about Army for just a sec.
Still holding it down, still undefeated.
Holding it down.
Yep.
Man, so Peyton, you got any info on us for the last time they were undefeated?
I couldn't. Let's look. Let's see.
All right, let us know if you find something. But yeah, so
They have an easier game this weekend, but I think next weekend is when they play Notre Dame, and it's kind of like how Navy was. Navy, we were waiting for them to play Notre Dame to see how they would be. They get throttled by Notre Dame, which Notre Dame's a really good team, but we'll really see how Army matches up.
yeah, man, that's gonna be an exciting game too. It'll definitely be one we'll have to watch.
Talk about Georgia for a second.
Oh, okay, good. Yes, let's talk about them.
I feel like I may stand alone on this hill, but if Lagway doesn't go out for Florida,
they lose.
their quarterback,
Yes,
they
Georgia loses. For
I
sure.
think Georgia gets beat.
Yes,
It's always easy to say, it's like, oh, well, if he doesn't get hurt, I understand that. But even with Brucey from the longest yard as their third string quarterback came in, still had a chance to win it at the end. And Carson Beck has been an absolute bust this year.
Yeah. So for the third week in a row, he's thrown 3 interceptions, and then obviously in the Bama game threw 3 interceptions.
Yeah.
But
I think it's been 8 interceptions the last 5 games. I think that's what I saw. I could be wrong on that, but it's been...
Well, the last 3 in a row, he's thrown 3 in each game, so that would be 9.
Okay.
They were talking about that.
But he hasn't thrown a touchdown, I don't think. Like, he's had very bad numbers late.
Yeah, so, the final score ended up being, 34-20, but it was a lot.
They got a garbage touchdown at the end.
A lot closer than that. It was 20-20 with, 5 minutes left in the game?
Credit to Florida's defense. They were all over them. They forced turnovers again, and it kept them in it.
Yeah. So, like I said, 20-20, a couple minutes left in the game, and then obviously Georgia scores. Florida gets the ball back.
Turns it over.
For one, I don't understand. So Georgia scores, puts them up 27-20, and then kicks off, and then kicks it deep into the end zone, and the returner decides he's going to take it out, gets tackled at the 16, 17-yard line, and then boom, the first play, with only a handful of minutes left, the quarterback throws an interception, and then that's when Georgia scores again, put them up, by 14.
Yeah, I know you can't ever predict injuries, but there's no way Florida was prepared to throw in their third-string quarterback,
Yeah.
who was a preferred walk-on from Yale.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep. So imagine being him. It's
He's
like,
probably a smart guy, not a football guy.
yeah, clipboard Jesus probably.
Oh, okay.
You know, he's probably a good film room guy, can
Good
pick
motiv-
certain things out. Yeah.
Can help the
Good locker room guy.
Can help the football guy learn the
Right.
playbook, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And that was where, like, when Lagway went down, like, they went to the replay, it didn't look bad. Like, when they were showing the replay, like, the behind angle, like, because when he went down, he immediately grabbed his hamstring. So it's like, you know, when they show Achilles popping, you could see the entire leg
just give way.
jump.
Yeah. Little, I think they call it like a reverberation.
Yeah. So when you see that, it's like when they show the behind angle, you don't see anything like that happen unless the hamstring just got completely ripped off the bone. But I saw a lot of stuff like that field is just crap.
Crap, it is, yeah.
But I definitely, like, when he went down, he was grabbing and stuff, you didn't know if it was like a cramp or anything. I definitely didn't think it was going to be an injury to where he was carted off the field.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that. That was crazy. Like, that seemed a little excessive.
It did, yeah. But
when I found out it was only hamstring, I was like, oh, that's great. But also, why did he just get taken out?
He got carted off, yeah. And that sucks for them because I do feel like if he was staying in it, they had a chance. And even with Brucey, they had a chance to win it at the end of the game.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about some of the top 11 losses, though, that happened this weekend.
Yeah, Clemson got throttled by Louisville, which I know it ended closer than how it was throughout the game, but Louisville handled business. Clemson goes down, so you got to think they're out of the conversation for the playoffs.
Texas Tech beat Iowa State.
Texas Tech beat Iowa State, yep. So I think that was Iowa State's first loss.
Yep, so they're 11, and Clemson was ranked 11. They were both ranked 11th for some reason.
And then there's no deserving team to get an upset more than South Carolina.
To achieve the upset.
To upset somebody. It was a matter of time this season.
Yeah. No, they're a really good team.
We've said it every single week. Like they're very close. Like they had every chance to beat Alabama. They had every chance to upset LSU early in the year.
Yep.
They should have upset Bama when they had the chance. But it's like you were to think that there's going to be one game that they finally get at home, a night game. That stadium's always buzzing, and they handled business.
Yes, they did. They put Texas A&M away. I mean, they just completely shut them down.
South Carolina's quarterback is a stud.
Absolute stud. He is going to be one to watch for these next few years.
And it's going to be one of those where he probably going to get paid in the offseason and go somewhere else.
I was just thinking
Which sucks for South Carolina.
I was just thinking
We
about
talked
that.
about in the last episode about your favorite player on your favorite team.
Don't buy their jersey.
It's not going to matter after a year.
Yep. Don't buy their jersey till if and when they make it to the
It doesn't
NFL.
matter if you were highly recruited or not. If you come in, make a statement. He's a true freshman.
Yep.
Come in and make a statement like this and basically carry your team, even though their record doesn't show it. South Carolina's been a great team this year. They've been in every single game, maybe aside the Kentucky game early in the year where they got blown out. But still, I mean, they've been in every game. You got a true freshman quarterback who's seemingly getting better every single week, and they pull off an upset like that. Like, they've probably had teams reaching out to him. I don't even know if that's legal. But you know he's got an agent, so his agent's been out there.
Yeah, I don't think teams can communicate.
I mean, no, they can't. But still, I mean, he's probably on the top to call list when the season's over with.
What's crazy is being an alumni probably holds no weight anymore. You know, it's no longer that Rudy guy at Notre Dame just playing with the love of the game and the pride of the school.
See, that's
just the highest bidder for probably a lot of these kids.
Yeah, we talked about it last week.
That's one thing I'm hopeful of, though, even with NIL and the way the world's going.
You hope there's a couple good ones out there.
Well, yes, but I mean more so that, like, you know, just like us, we grew up diehard Alabama fans. I'm hopeful that there's still a bunch of kids out there who grow up hardcore fans of whomever, you know, college they rooted for growing up, and then are good enough to go play football there, and then regardless of how
stick it out.
They're like, you know what, like, this was my dream school, this was my dream team, this was a just overall dream. Like, I don't care whatever.
Well, it's like going back to the Alabama quarterback room over the past 5+ years. You know, with your Jalen's, your Tua's, your Mac Jones, like those quarterbacks were good enough to play everywhere else, but they stuck it out. Of course, Jalen inevitably transferred to Oklahoma. But like that QB room the past few years have been a tight knit group, and they stayed there. It's like, Ty
Even
Simpson.
with Jalen, though, I mean, he stuck it out for one full year after the
Yeah.
championship when Tua came in at halftime. Like, he still stuck around because, remember, he obviously helped us win an SEC championship.
Yep.
So he was still a big part of that. So, yeah, credit them.
Yeah, but I was going to say that's what has made Bama the gold standard for those 15 plus years that Saban was there. Is we had just the depth to restock and reload year after year, and I think that's partly why the NCAA took this route, is because they knew this probably wasn't a good thing for the sport overall of college football. Was just having Bama just winning all these national championships, having all these great players, only funneling out of the same few programs. They probably wanted to level the playing field just to make it better for fans, players, universities, and because we're taking some of their revenue away too. If you think about it just without bias,
But that's truly what, in a sense, equality is. Like, everyone has that same opportunity. I mean, the schools do prior to NIL, and to go out there and recruit. It's just that, I mean, Bama was, I mean, you can't, okay, so here's an example. Bama was very bad for a really long time prior to Saban, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Saban got there and changed the culture. So all these schools have to do is change culture. So, I mean, why is it fair to try to change the...
Well, none of that matters now.
Yeah, so why, like, I mean, I'm just, like, making a point to what he was saying, is that, like, why should, the NCAA try to change everything to better benefit everybody, which I'm not saying is wrong, but if they're...
It's not Alabama's fault that they brought in talent and kept them there.
Yeah.
But that's like being a selfish, biased Alabama fan. It's like when you heard of guys transferring from Bama, it's like you're not going to get it anywhere better than Alabama.
Yeah.
They're going to be in the conversation at the end of the year every single year.
Yeah.
Just think of like what Jahmyr Gibbs would have meant to all those Georgia Tech fans. If he stuck it out, you know what I mean?
Or if he would have been that good at Georgia Tech.
Right.
Yeah.
And he comes to Alabama and thrives, and he's still thriving in the NFL.
Yeah, I'm sure with a case like him, he probably, in a sense, still means a lot to him because they say, oh, he came from Georgia State.
Well, it's like Jalen Hurts. It's like, no, he's Alabama.
He's Alabama.
Like, he graduated from Oklahoma, but he's an Alabama guy.
He graduated from Alabama and just went to Oklahoma.
No, he's Alabama. He's Bama Maroon, not Oklahoma Maroon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's why he says his high school on like the
NFL
night
yeah.
football.
It just saves the drama.
Yeah. So.
But no, so going back to Sellers, I do feel like he's going to be one of those top kids that's looked at to transfer out. But South Carolina, I mean, they got such a good team. They're so fun to watch.
They are.
I'm so glad Bama beat them.
I will say the only thing I'm disappointed about is the hype surrounding their jerseys, because they were called the Dark Knight and they did this whole like Joker release reveal deal, and it looks just like their normal home jerseys.
A&M's blackout was like their blackout uniforms, when they played LSU last week. It was so much better.
I hate to admit this, but Tennessee had the best.
They did go black this weekend, yeah.
That little video release they had for it too was pretty.
That was amazing. I mean, that is the best reveal, like jersey reveal.
Videography.
Yeah.
We need to get them on the pod.
Christopher Nolan level.
Yeah, for real.
So that's another team. They had to survive this weekend too.
Yep.
I don't know what's going on with their offense. Their offense isn't. I mean, they didn't really click against Alabama, but
rushing wise, yes.
Yeah.
Passing wise, no. But Lamaleva did really well this weekend. This weekend was. What did I just say?
I don't know. I said say it again.
I said Lamaleva.
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 I'm a believer.
I'm gonna smack you. Yeah.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
Let's.
No, we're keeping it.
Nico, Tennessee's quarterback Nico, he looked really well this week. Looked really good this weekend.
He's still overthrowing people about 80 yards though.
He is, but
That's awesome.
It's the first game he's thrown in quite a few weeks over 200 passing yards. So he almost got 300. He's like 3 or 4 yards short. So much better.
I was a Wildcat. I was rooting for the Wildcats.
Oh, same. Speaking of that, their jerseys, their helmets,
The Chrome
the
Domes.
Chrome Dome.
Yeah.
I loved it. I
Those are
thought
sick,
those
yeah.
looked amazing. Like,
Yeah, they do look
I
good.
need one. Like, I want one of those helmets. You got any equipment manager buddies by chance to maybe work there? You make some friends there?
At Kentucky?
Yeah, so we can get one of those helmets.
It would be cool. We did used to get at Jacksonville. We would helmet swap with teams. Like whenever we would travel to like the bigger teams, we would give them. Of course, they're like, "Sure, we'll take a Jacksonville State helmet." We're like, "Oh, can we please have a?" Because we played at Kentucky, they just gave us a blue, casual blue. But that's what's crazy about all these teams. Like being Alabama fans, you love the crimson and white. Like that's just old school, it's traditional. It still looks good.
I would like a black jersey for Bama.
A black or just like a gray.
Yeah.
Just give me like an all gray with the crimson.
Like
I feel like an ivory would look awesome in crimson. Just one game. I feel like that would look awesome.
Yeah, that would look cool. Like an off cream white.
But like you're seeing all these teams that go out and get these new uniforms. It's like, must be nice. Must be cool.
Like, I love the tradition. Like, I mean, this looks fantastic.
Yeah,
love
that
it.
on white looks really good.
Like, I'm not saying I want a full home game change jersey forever, but like, just something,
It would be nice to get like an all gray uniform with the crimson letters, numbers with the crimson.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have y'all seen like old clips of Bama, like when they wore like white helmets with red numbers?
Yes.
Like that.
Give me
looks
that.
awesome.
Yeah, that would be
And I think we should
so
put
cool.
you know, like the old vintage A with the elephant coming through. We should put that at center field for like one game.
Oh man,
Just have like an old school game.
That
like Bear
would look
Bryant
so good.
appreciation game or something.
Yeah,
I mean,
I love that logo. That's probably my favorite logo.
Yeah,
for real.
Then it was right before it was. You got the letter script now. Then you had the circle logo.
Yeah.
So I guess it was the logo before that.
Yeah, it was like 90s.
Yeah.
It was like they had it for like 20 something years, I believe.
Yeah, still hard to go against the crimson and white, but
Yeah.
So the first college football playoff poll drops tomorrow.
drops tomorrow night. Yeah.
Yep. How we feeling about it? It's must-watch TV.
Yep. Tomorrow,
Despite-
college football playoff will be the only thing you need to watch.
Yeah. Don't worry about the election. Don't worry
The
about
election's tomorrow.
Yes.
Tomorrow's the 5th.
Well, today is the 4th, so yes, that makes it the 5th. 4 or 5. Who you voting for? I'm just kidding.
I'm voting for Bama to get in the first ever
daggum right.
college football
Roll
playoff
Tide.
prediction.
You're telling me. That's a good answer there.
Yep.
Yeah, can we write that in on the ballot tomorrow?
I'm voting for
Nick Saban.
I'm voting for the Titans to make a splash trade to get their season back on track.
Okay.
Approved.
They beat the 2-6 Patriots, baby.
I
We're
know.
back.
Okay,
The Titans are back.
Motion passed.
Okay, so good segue in NFL. So we'll jump into the NFL.
Mason Rudolph for MVP.
So like I've been telling you, he's good despite another end zone interception. I'm torn about what I want the Titans to do because
They're not going to do it. They're sellers.
I'm glad they won yesterday, but it was incredibly stupid to win the game yesterday. Get that number 1 pick because I swear if they end up doing,
But there's so many bad NFL teams.
Yes, there are. Exactly. So be bad too and
Be the worst.
Be worse. Be the best.
Because the Panthers won yesterday too.
I know.
They don't want the number 1 pick either.
So,
but I
so
texted you this. There's not. I don't feel like there's good. Now we don't know who exactly is coming out for the draft this year, but it's like there's nothing that jumps out. It's like worth taking the number 1 pick because having the number 1 pick with no really good standout quarterbacks coming out, that's an easy pick to screw up.
Yeah.
Like even top 5. So it's like with there being so many bad NFL teams.
That's why they got sucked this year and get a number 1 pick this year. Suck again next year with Mason Rudolph while he plays good. And then get like Arch Manning or something.
So y'all want to hear something semi crazy?
Yeah.
Please.
So the Titans are 2-6, and the updated draft order for next year has them picking 9. So there's 8 other teams that are 2-7 or worse, and then there's also the strength of schedule factor.
Yeah.
But that's what's crazy. Let's say the Titans get hot, which would be a absolute miracle. They could backdoor into the playoffs. The division's not that great.
Yeah.
The Texans, you got to think they'll end up winning the division. But the Colts aren't very good right now. They looked crap last night. Then you got the Jaguars. So it's like the Titans could screw up and make the playoffs this year.
That would be the worst management decision ever.
That's
What, making the playoffs?
Just for long term, reasons. The personnel is not good enough. Other than just for pleasure of a fan, it's a bad move.
So that's what I'm getting at. Is like it's what the Steelers do. It's like the past few years, especially since Big Ben retired, is that they've been just good enough to make the playoffs, just good enough to have either
a mid-round pick.
Yeah.
And
it's so that's been going on for a very long time.
but they've still been able to get talent in there, with their drafting wise.
Yeah, they're great. They're so much better at drafting than the Titans are. But it's still just frustrating because you're like, okay, this is finally going to be the year they're either going to win it or you are thinking, oh, this is gonna be the year where we're like definitely locking in a top 3, top 5 pick.
Yeah.
And then that'll be like at the halfway point of the season or 3/4 of the way of the season, and then boom, they just whoop everybody and everybody else loses to other teams, and then they're like, oh, playoffs. And then you're sitting at 10, 15, 20.
But like I'm saying, like this draft, I think it'll be more beneficial to be in that mid-round pick range so you can get a guy, so to say.
Okay, true, yeah. But you could still own the number 1 pick and just trade it and get a lot more back.
And the way Rand Carthon is the Titans GM, like he seems to be, know what he's doing as far as getting draft picks, getting, accumulating picks. So, I mean, who's to say we don't get a top 5 pick and he just trades back to get more picks?
Yeah. I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
But the Titans they're hot. One's a streak right now, baby.
Yeah, Tony Pollard looked fantastic.
He's looked fantastic every week, man. He's been our staple.
Calvin Ridley looked great.
Yeah.
Nice screwed off, feeding him.
Yeah.
Your guy.
Ridley? I love Ridley, man.
Yeah. No, I mean, whatever his name, the other receiver.
Boyd?
Westbrook Akina.
Oh,
No,
Nick Westbrook Akina.
Yeah.
We talked about it. I don't know if it was last episode or the one before, but he is the most undervalued receiver in the league.
Yeah.
He doesn't drop balls, and he's a touchdown seeker. Like, you bona fide touchdown. Just throw him the ball.
Just throw him the ball.
Just throw him the ball. Like, losing D-Hop sucks, obviously, but, like, value-wise, Nick Westbrook Akina is...
Holds just as much probably at this point. Yeah. No, I agree.
He's Mr. Reliable.
Yeah.
4 straight games with a touchdown.
Bingo.
How many?
4.
4. Wow, that's amazing.
But, I mean, that's pretty much all he's been playing is the last 4. So,
Yeah.
pretty much 100% of his games are almost with the touchdown.
Well, it seemed like
That's
last year, too. Like, I know he didn't play a lot last year either, but when he comes in, he does good things. Yeah. He's Mr. Reliable. He's not going to drop the ball, and he's just a go-to guy.
Someone Titans keep around for sure.
They won't. His stock's just going up now.
Yeah, but they'll keep someone like Treylon Burks, a former first-round pick who was A.J. Brown equivalent.
Supposed to be.
Nah, didn't pan out, did it?
Man, that's...
All right, bro. Okay, so we've got a lot of NFL stuff to talk about, but I want to talk about the Saquon Barkley.
What is that?
Hop, skip, hurdle, flip.
What is that?
Peyton, did you see it?
Oh, yeah, it was unreal.
That's crazy.
After a spin move, you're already backing up. It's like, let me just jump over a human.
I mean, how do you
Backwards,
even,
literally
have the wherewithal to do that? You
can't even do that in the video game.
That's just...
No, they're gonna have to add it in.
You can now, apparently.
I'm gonna request it. That was equivalent to OBJ's catch for me. Like, to be perfect.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm cool with it.
that was one of one.
Freak.
Yeah.
I mean,
then the little spin move he had right before that was sick.
Oh,
too.
he buckled Buddy to get in space. Then he juke, spin move, and then his momentum just kept carrying him backwards. He's like, screw
like,
it.
To
I'll
me,
jump.
when he did that, like, that just goes to show, like, when you're as athletes, y'all probably understand this because it's happened to me before. It's like people talk about slowing down the game. Like, that's what that means. It's like, you can't think that
Everybody
through.
else is moving in slow motion.
You can't think that through. You can't make a decision 3, 4, 5 seconds ahead of time to say, oh yeah.
No, that's all reaction.
Yeah, it's like literally like you are literally
Fight or flight.
everything is moving in slow
On the
motion.
flip side of that, if somebody clips him right there,
Oh, he's doing a somersault for sure.
he's in trouble.
In outer space.
He might be getting carted off.
Yeah, well,
What would it make that better if they do clip him? He flips, lands, and takes it to the crib.
Yep. There's
Which again, that'd have been like that's Saquon Barkley.
Yeah. the Giants.
Quadzilla.
The Giants have got to be unbelievably
You know they love
Pissed.
watching that.
watching that.
to a division rival as well.
Yeah, good for Saquon. It's
Yeah.
definitely a win for him.
Yeah, I'm happy for him. Looks much better in that Kelly green.
Yeah, that I don't know. Still don't know why that's not the permanent, but
I don't need that. That's literally like my favorite jersey.
it's a great uniform.
Like probably other than like the Steelers Bumblebee jerseys that they don't wear anymore. But
Oh, you like those?
dude, I love those.
Yeah, the Oilers. That might be the best.
I do like the Oilers throwbacks.
They're really cool, but they're way too similar to the Titans.
Yeah. Too bad there's not any oil in Nashville. We could have still been the Oilers.
It wouldn't have sounded as good.
How did they come up with the Titans? Yeah. Man.
I think I've read that. I think I've read it before, but I can't remember.
But watching clips, like reaction videos of Saquon's backwards jump, it's like people just laugh. Like people just see it and they just start laughing. It's like, of course. Like if anybody was to do that in the league, it'd be Saquon.
Yeah. I don't know. I've watched it probably 50 times. It was unreal.
Like you can't, like you said, you can't practice that.
No,
that's
You can't prepare yourself for that.
instinct just takes over. Like
Freak athlete and having quads the size of a mini fridge.
Yeah.
What else you got, dude?
See, NFL was
Cedric Tillman, if y'all wanted to go into that. Browns receiver.
What's that?
who?
Browns receiver that's been breaking out
Oh, yeah.
after, ever since Amari Cooper got traded.
Yeah, he's been doing good. I mean, he had pretty much the game-winning touchdown for the Browns last week. With that being said, they looked as good as the Browns and Jameis looked last week against the Ravens. My God, they looked so bad yesterday. Jameis had 3 interceptions, I believe. Yeah, not a good game, but
That's
that's the Jameis we all know. I guess he needs to get LASIK again. But yeah, Cedric Tillman looks really good.
He could be a fine preacher. I'll tell you that.
He could. I would
That's a
listen.
great
I wouldn't know
interview
what the
right
heck he was saying, but I would
He can
listen.
come in here and give us a hype speech before we come on. I'll take that.
Dude, so there are a lot of injuries though over the weekend for in the
Yeah.
NFL. So we had Dak hamstring, Caleb Williams,
Jordan Love still hurt.
Jordan Love, up and down. But with all that being said, CMC, Christian McCaffrey,
He's coming back, baby.
Say he's back at practice.
He can come back. They got 3 weeks to move him off the IR, so he's got 3 weeks to get it going. But in that division, I mean, he's got to come back. The way their season's going, like they're still in it as far as division wise. They need him.
Yeah.
Because you got Ayuk out. Debo Samuels, I think he's been hurt for the past couple of weeks, so he hasn't been in there.
Yeah, Mason, we kind of talked about this the other week, and I made the comment saying, like, if I was C-Mac, like, what would I do? Like, would I come back or would I just let it ride and keep myself healthy? But now I agree, like, if he does prove healthy and with the team, with where they're at this point now, bring me in, coach. If you want to win, let CMC,
as soon as he comes in, they're going to feed him. Like, everything is going to go through him, which it kind of already did. But, like, you're hoping, okay, if they do come back, like, if he does and when he does, like, you hope they don't feed him so much to where it just re-aggravates and then he's done
again. The only reason I don't want to see him come back is because I have Mason on my fantasy team. And he's been doing really good for me this season.
Boo-hoo. Yeah. No, you like seeing having a healthy Christian McCaffrey is good for football.
It is.
Yeah.
Because he's such an electrifying player. And
you think he could have made that move that Saquon did?
If there was another guy that I'd bet on, it'd be him.
I think so.
I want to see them do it.
He would do the backflip.
He would.
I feel like he could do the backflip.
Look, y'all know y'all probably won't know the same, but I want y'all to look up some videos that came out in the mid 2000s. It's from a white quarterback or a white running back. His name was Sam McGuffey.
And
from
he was Michigan, right?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was going to play at Michigan. I think he did for a little bit, then transferred. But he was doing stuff that Saquon Barkley was doing, almost 20 years ago.
Yeah,
and it was unreal. Like, he was kind of like one of the very first little YouTube sensations.
Yeah. That's really all it transpired to be, though, was just YouTube.
Yeah, he never really panned out like he should have had an elite high school career.
No, but going off of running backs that are doing great things is Derrick Henry.
Dude, I'm, again, not to talk about Bama, not to talk about Titans, just talking about the man himself. I love it. Like, there's no way in my mind. So, like, I knew he could have a good year. But him going to the Ravens with Lamar Jackson as a quarterback, never in my life did I think that at this point would he be leading the NFL in carries, yards, and touchdowns.
He's got 1,000.
Yeah, over 1,000.
Unreal.
Halfway through the season.
Nine games in. Like,
Yeah.
Dude, what?
No longer on pace to break the Eric Dickerson rushing record, but still on pace to break 2,000.
What's the record? Like, what's the yardage?
21:05.
How is he not? So last week he was on pace, and then he rushed for 120-something yards this past
It's
game.
just the yards per game average.
Yeah,
it
so-
was so high, and he had like a game of like 73, and it just kind of sank his pace.
You said 2105?
Yeah, 2,105 is the record.
Yeah.
So what he needs another 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
He could get it,
He
especially
can.
if he plays the Titans.
Yeah. So he could. I mean, what? He's got 9 games remaining. He's already done.
Have they
it.
had a bye week yet? I think they've had a bye week.
They will get.
NFL still only gets one.
Oh, they won't get one. That's right. That is
Yeah.
right. I'm sorry. I'm thinking college. Yeah.
That's regular season, right? That's not entire season.
Yeah.
Correct. It's
Yeah.
just a 17-game schedule.
I'm rooting for him. To be able to be in the spot to get it twice in your career is incredible.
Yeah. One of one for sure.
No, it's good to see. And the Ravens, they hyped the Ravens Broncos game up. They're both 6-3. The Ravens with the fluke loss to I won't say fluke because the Browns, Jameis lit it up last week. But with all the drops the Ravens had, all that stuff. Yeah. But they hyped this game up for Bo Nix to, we'll really see where he's at. And then the Ravens just throttle the Broncos. And it's like the Ravens can do that to any team in the NFL.
Yeah. Speaking of Bo Nix, though, he's actually looking a lot better than I really ever expected him to look in the NFL.
Yeah, but he's almost 30. So he's had enough reps. I mean,
he does have enough reps, that is for sure.
He came in the most groomed rookie quarterback.
All right.
So he's like a Brandon Weeden equivalent. I think he came into the NFL at like 27, 28 when he came out of Oklahoma State.
Yeah, Oklahoma State, yeah.
But regardless, so I mean, I feel like he's actually he's outperformed what a lot of people expected.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, he's been really good for him.
So, dude, how about all the firings?
Yep, got some firings the day before the trade deadline, and God, there's another bug. Is it me?
Okay.
I see him.
Yeah. Anyways, so don't mind him. So there's been a lot of firings going on.
Dennis Allen, Saints, canned.
Yeah.
After losing to the Panthers yesterday.
7 straight losses. Never in my life did I expect that to happen because of how well they started. I mean,
went 2-0, and not just a squeak by 2-0. They're beating the hell out of people.
Yeah.
Beat the crap out of the Cowboys.
Yeah,
Not that that's
embarrassed
saying
the
much
It's
anymore.
not saying much right now, no. Because the Cowboys are not very good, and Dak said it
Yeah.
on
national television.
Yeah, he said
probably
we
didn't know if he-
freaking suck.
Yeah. More explicit with the.
And they do.
They do. They're.
All that money. And
Look, if I was the Cowboys, see you, Mike. Peace.
is this going to be like an opposite of how the Cowboys have been in the past, 5+ years? Like they dominate the regular season, go in the playoffs and just lay an egg. Whereas this regular season, they're scraping every game, losing games. But do they get hot towards the end and then turn it on in the playoffs? Is this the Cowboys' year?
I feel like they're still.
I can't envision. They are the worst rushing team in the NFL by a large margin.
Didn't Ezekiel Elliott get in trouble? Didn't he get?
I don't know the reason why, but yeah, he didn't play. He didn't even travel with the team yesterday.
It's team issues or something like.
I don't know. They didn't specify, as far as I'm aware.
I didn't see much either.
He didn't travel with the team, so he's probably getting cut.
But Cooper Rush came in and they lost by a touchdown.
Yeah, it did against Falcons. So yeah, they ended up losing only by a touchdown. So they made it a little bit of a competitive game.
I know. A couple weeks ago we made the midseason MVP list. I think a couple of those spots stay like Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, but Josh Allen for one, and Kirk Cousins could easily be thrown in the MVP conversation. I'm pretty sure Josh Allen only has 1 interception this year. I think they highlighted that before the Dolphins game.
Yeah, you're right.
He's 14 touchdowns to 1 pick.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I think you're probably right on that.
So he has 2 interceptions, but still to this point in the season is really good work.
Did he throw one this weekend? Did he throw one yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's got 2 interceptions now.
Yep. But no, for me, Kirk, dude. Okay, just going back to when he was drafted, it was the same class, that
RG3, yep.
And obviously he was taken number 1. Kirk was a 4th rounder. And I remember at the time, because I knew, I watched Kirk when he was at Michigan State. Got to watch him play when they played a game against Alabama. But I was very excited for the Redskins when they drafted him because, this guy is probably going to take over within the next couple years and is probably going to be in the NFL long. He is a good quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had I won't even really say a rough start, but in a sense a rough start for those first couple years before he truly took over as starter.
Yeah.
But he has shown consistency everywhere he's gone. Like, obviously, for his handful of years with the Redskins, now Commanders, obviously, when he, went to the Vikings.
Yeah, lit it
but
up
people
there.
can say, oh, he had Diggs. Oh, he had Jefferson.
You still got to get him the
He had
ball.
Dalvin Cook at the time. Yada, yada. Okay, well, now he's with the Falcons.
On the flip side of that, you could get a terrible quarterback who can't feed those guys. But, yeah, Kirk Cousins has been great for the past several years.
Yeah, I mean,
and he's still doing it now.
You can't
Literally
hide behind the talent this long without actually being good.
Yeah, I mean, for a decade now. But, yeah, no, so obviously now he's with the Falcons who've not played good football for the past years.
He's proven the money that they paid him to come and do that.
For sure. Yeah, he's earned it. So I'm really, really happy for him because, he's, from by all appearances, is a very good stand-up dude.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Yeah, and he's fitting in quite perfectly in Atlanta.
Yes.
When they were previewing the swag surfing thing that he did, before their game yesterday, it's just awesome.
Yeah.
Like, Kirk brings a different swag to Atlanta.
You like that?
One guy said he's like, Kirk's invited to the cookout forever. It's like, yeah, we know what that means.
Yeah.
Like, when you're invited to the cookout, you're set for life.
He's good to go. He's safe in Atlanta, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Dude, okay, so we got some other firings, though, that we didn't mention. So the Raiders let go of their OC along with a couple other guys.
That's another dumpster fire team.
Yep. Yeah. I don't know why they're not playing Aiden O'Connell more. I know that they started with Gardner, did look great, finally benched him, did bring in Aiden. He got hurt. Now they're back on Gardner. But I really just cannot believe that Aiden O'Connell did not start the year as the starter.
6 stash on the guy.
Yeah.
You got a good stash.
You like it better than Gardner Mishue's and his long flowy hair?
No, I mean, that's always a good look for a quarterback. But just the stash, when they're doing just the facial pictures of the guy, it's like there's no way that guy's in the NFL, much less a quarterback.
Yeah. Looks just like Gardner Minshew looks just like a.
But Aiden O'Connell,
surfer.
he finished out the year with the Raiders last year, and he did really
Good.
terrible.
Yeah, I mean, he became Devontae Adams' go-to guy,
Shoot, if I was on a team like that who had a Devontae Adams, I'm just trying to prove myself. I'm feeding him.
Yeah,
make me look good, please.
Yeah, every pass. I promise you, I would every single pass.
Yep, and going with talking about Devontae Adams for a second, the Jets big win.
They did,
and Devontae Adams showed out a little bit. Aaron Rodgers showed out, and Garrett Wilson
just
catch of the year. That needs to be his logo.
Dude,
I'm pretty sure it is
pretty much the Jordan logo.
I think it is the Jordan logo.
It is the Jordan logo, and obviously Jordan does big branding in the NFL now. Lots of players wear his cleats. Jordan needs to take a hold of that and take, instead of being him holding
change the basketball, just
change
put
it to football.
Easy.
I would Garrett Wilson is with Adidas, but yeah, he needs to be. Devontae Adams.
Michael Jordan should have made that phone call after the game.
Adam said he's going to be with me on Jordan.
So let's talk about that touchdown for a second. So
what's crazy is he had 2 more or less one-handed catches in the game.
Oh well, yeah, but
we'll only ever remember the Jordan style one-handed.
Yeah. So that touchdown, it was a foot and a shin.
Yeah, I know where you're going with this.
That they ruled a touchdown.
Yep.
Okay, so keep going on this. You got George Pickens. So a touchdown is 2 feet in bounds, obviously, or a foot and a butt cheek, a foot and a shin.
Yep.
But not the same foot twice. You want to elaborate on that?
I can't. There's nothing that I can really say to make it make sense. That is the crazy. It will be adjusted. It'll be addressed.
Do you think they called that a touchdown for Garrett Wilson just because of how badass it was? When they slowed it down and review, it's like, oh, we can't take this away.
No.
Because they called it incomplete on the field, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so they called it. So they had to go to review to say it was a touchdown. But it was a fraction from his shin hitting before his kneecap hit out of bounds. Yeah. But the single foot toe tap twice.
And George Pickens was clearly inbounds, had full control. There wasn't any discussion about whether or not it was a catch. It just came down to
he didn't have both feet in.
Details of what is now considered 2 feet. Same foot twice, bro. That should have been a touchdown.
What if they go back and change it to a touchdown?
I mean,
Does that matter now? Could they go back and say, you know what, it was a touchdown? Did they win that game with that touchdown?
they already did. Yeah, I mean, they won.
They won either way?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild. I know they've seen it talk about it a couple of times. I was like, all right, so a foot and a shin is a touchdown, but a single foot toe tap twice is not. Nobody knows what a touchdown is. Nobody knows what a touchdown is. Nobody knows what roughing the passer is. Nobody knows anything.
Yeah, there needs to be some real like clarification this offseason of like on a bunch of rules. Like they need to hire some very, very smart people to figure it out.
Well, they've already got very smart people up there.
Okay, they need to hire some the
They've
third
already
string
got
quarterback.
smart people up there.
Who?
Just saying.
Oh, okay. Well, they need to do
They're the
better.
best of the best.
Yeah, I will say they are very flag happy in the NFL. It ruins momentum. It ruins just the watchability of it, even in a game that's you're impartial to. You know, you ever watch like clips from like the 70s? It just looks like jungle football.
It's
They're just,
murder
like,
ball.
Yeah. They're just tackling each other at the line of scrimmage, like DB and receiver, just grabbing face mask, throwing them
It was
down.
NFL Blitz,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
the video game.
Yeah.
Where you could suplex people in the middle of a game and just be like,
That's
get your ass up.
football.
Yeah.
Prison league.
Yeah, it was.
Oh man,
Yeah. Jaden Daniels, the Commanders are still rolling.
dude. Yeah, he's another one I think I've said before, but I knew he was good. I didn't know he was gonna be that good.
Do you think receivers and players that are on not as good teams or very bad teams are talking to their agents saying, "Hey, send me to Washington,
Yes,
so I can play with this kid"?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I actually saw an article on it yesterday. Like they didn't name any names specifically, but yes, like players are reaching out to their agents and saying, "By deadline, I want to be a commander. I want to be a commander. They're going to win,
And they're in a perfect spot to make a big time
absolutely
trade.
They've always had great defenses. Their offense has never, been much to look at, except with Kirk. I'm just saying it's been a long time since they've been good on offense. But no, he's the dude.
He's so good.
There's a lot of great quarterback play this year.
The Commanders have $25 million in cap space, so they can, afford a star or maybe two.
Especially with where we're at in the season and not having to take on a full, contract for someone, especially with wherever that potential person is at in their contract. Could probably get someone that's really good for league minimum.
I wonder which of course D Hop's already with the Chiefs, but he'd have been good for him. Older guy who could still get it.
I say OBJ should go there. I feel like actually, I hate to say it, but Waddle. Like that way he can start to get some recognition and be the number
He's
one.
not in Tyreek's little shadow.
Yeah.
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 Has OBJ's came back and played, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's been playing?
Yeah, he had like 3 catches for 15 yards.
So yesterday was his first day back?
I can't say for certain. I know he played yesterday and
Yeah.
had 3 for 15 or so. I can't remember if he had played another game or not previously. But
Is OBJ one of those drama guys, though? Like, if he sends there, he could be bad for that team? Because they got good mojo going right now.
You're right. I don't know. I would just like to see OBJ do well again.
The Commanders need another guy.
But regardless, like Waddle, like I think he'd be a good one. Like I feel like a team needs to go make a trade for him for real. Like that needs a true wide receiver one.
They could go get one of the Green Bay guys. I don't know where Green Bay's weak at, but they have so many just weapons at receiver. Like, it's insane. They can afford to let one go.
I don't feel like any of them
probably cheap
are
enough.
really like star level names though. Like like who Watson, like Christian Watson, or what's the other guy's name?
Jaden
You got
Reed,
Romeo Dobbs, Jaden Reed,
Christian
yeah.
Watson, like Bo Melton.
Yeah, like those are really great wide receivers. but
Receivers, yeah, they're not really big name guys.
They're
right
not
now,
someone
but
that your average everyday person is talking about. Like, yo, did you watch him play?
Can you
this
name
year?
the Commanders' receiving core outside of Terry McLaurin? That's what I'm saying. Like, go get another guy.
That's what I'm agreeing with you. That's what I'm saying too.
Yeah.
Like, big name.
Let's talk about the Packers for a second. So, and we've kind of touched on them
a lot.
a couple times the past couple weeks.
Keeps coming back up.
Jordan Love doesn't look good. He played yesterday on a bum ankle against the Lions. I kept waiting to see Malik Willis come in.
Mm-hmm.
I still think he should.
Y'all disagree with me though on that last week.
No.
That's a different argument.
That is a different argument because you said, do you start the guy that's getting paid or do you go with the guy the hot hand? And you were talking about like for the future.
No, I was talking about for the remainder of the season and the future going forward. Yes,
Jordan Love was still the right answer. He just re-aggravated an injury at the time, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, he definitely re-aggravated.
But both you idiots still say that Malik Willis should be a Titan.
Yeah, I do. I will go to my grave saying that.
At the time, I was like, heck yeah, great move.
Yeah. But now you're like,
never said
There's
that.
no way he's showing this on the Titans.
No, it's
No,
not.
I don't think. Well, I don't know. He didn't have this Titans team though.
He had better players.
What, last year?
A couple years ago.
Malik?
Yeah.
No.
Derrick Henry. That's all I gotta say.
He didn't have a Ridley or a D-Hop or a
AJ Brown was there. Treylon Burks was there, rookie. No, AJ Brown wouldn't have been there.
No. But I do think that Malik should start going forward. Because they're still in it. The NFC North's still tough. I mean, obviously the Lions won yesterday. The Vikings won last night against the Colts. Joe Flacco did not look good last night.
No, yeah. There was a lot of hype around him and how well he played
That's
last
his team
year.
now.
A lot of hype around him for the couple times he's come in this year and filled in for, a tired.
Anthony Richardson looked like he was ready to come in the game at any point last night. And then they caught him yawning through on the sideline.
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah, they caught him yawning. Like, big yawn.
No way.
Like,
I didn't see that. I didn't hear about that.
Yeah,
Are you for real?
they panned to him at one point. I don't know if it was on like the live feed, but there was clips going on that.
He was yawning.
Yeah.
Bro, that's so embarrassing.
Had his helmet on the sideline, let a big old yawn go. It's like, this guy, he's playing the new Call of Duty. He's on the Kyler Murray, like, I can't play football. I can't watch film because I'm playing Call of Duty.
Oh, man. Well, I hope he's really good at streaming and playing Call of Duty because he's going to need to be able to make some money somehow. Look, he's been telling Coach all week, I'm changing my ways. I've changed. This will be the last time this happens. And then, boom, pans him in the game. Big yawn.
They told him that he wasn't going to be playing. It's like, okay, I'll stay up and play Call of Duty more now.
Yeah. Oh, dude. So, who's now that we're really halfway through? Like, who's your best team? Like, for me, I don't feel like there's any one team that truly stands out this year.
I see. No, and you still got the Chiefs that are undefeated, but Patrick Mahomes has looked the worst since he's came into the league.
Truly the worst he's ever looked.
But I'd say if I was to pick right now, my Super Bowl matchup would be the Lions and Ravens.
That would be a great.
That would be
America
very,
would
very,
love that.
very good.
You got two fantastic offenses going against two stout defenses. Like,
that would be a great game.
Yeah, and
give me
nobody,
Detroit and
it's
Baltimore.
A team no one hates either of them. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like everybody rooting against the Chiefs or like the Cowboys. You can get behind that matchup.
Yeah,
that'd be a really fun Super Bowl. Outside of that, there's really nobody else. I mean, a lot of people were high on the Texans this year, but they haven't looked great.
Yeah, CJ didn't take that second year leap.
Yeah.
Well, when you have such a good first year, it's hard to leap much further than how he started last year. I mean, he's maybe a little worse than last year, but he's still playing really good ball. And they added more talent to the offense and defense, which with Diggs being done for the year, that kind of doesn't hurt them a whole lot. But having him obviously helped. The Bills, I'd say the Bills are probably another team that could go far.
Yeah, I want to see Bills Mafia get their ring.
I do too.
They would be unsufferable in the playoffs.
No, they wouldn't.
Oh.
Nah. They make the playoffs all the time. They aren't insufferable.
Super Bowl run.
The Steelers went up there last year during that massive snowstorm that hit the whole U.S. earlier this January.
Yeah.
And there was literally 20 feet of snow, and a bunch of Steelers fans were saying this has been the most hospitable city I've ever come to. Bills fans were
they're a good time.
Taking them in into their homes and stuff
during snow apocalypse.
Yeah. There's a few teams,
NFC
guys I would like to see win.
Yeah. NFC wise, I mean, outside the Lions, off the top of my head, there's really no other NFC team that's standing out. I mean, the Falcons are a good team this year.
That's who. I'd love to see Kirk win one.
Oh yeah, let Kirk get a ring.
I want to see Kirk cement
sure.
himself.
Yeah.
Is he a Hall of Famer?
I don't know.
That's such an open-ended because, I mean, they hang that on everybody in every sport.
Yeah.
Like, you have a couple good years, he's a Hall of Famer, but it's like...
But he's been so consistent.
He's been very consistent. He's been very good everywhere he goes.
The ring would put him over. I think that's the difference maker.
Yeah.
That's what enshrines him.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep, and you got to put him up there with the comeback player of the year, too.
Yeah. That's a good point, for sure. So the Bucks and Chiefs tonight, though. Who you got?
Give me Baker, man. I think Baker gets it done tonight. I don't know who he's going to throw the ball to, but I hope the Buccaneers get it done tonight.
I pray they
Give the Chiefs the first loss.
because that would be we've talked about him and the Bucks decent amount. They start off the year so hot, great, and now they've lost 2 weeks in a row. I believe they're either 4-3 or 4-4 at this point.
Yeah.
So they need this win to keep a winning
relevant.
record. Yeah.
Yep. The Vikings, they could be in it at the end too. I just don't. I mean, Sam Darnold showed flashes last night of old Sam Darnold, but that team,
like Jets, Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Or do you mean like old Sam Darnold from earlier this season?
No, I'm talking about like Jets.
Okay,
Darnold,
like not good.
just careless with the ball. Yeah, turnovers.
I just wanted to clarify that.
Earlier this year, he was fantastic.
Dude, yeah.
5-0.
Yeah.
Started out. No, I still think it's the Lions to lose though,
Yeah.
because they're just complete top to bottom. I think the best team in the NFL.
Yep. All right. So in addition to the first college football playoff poll tomorrow, we have the NFL trade deadline. What's the rumors? We got any rumors?
I haven't seen anything.
Which is very surprising because this
I think
is
Max Crosby needs to be shipped out of Oakland. He
to
needs to be one of the
the Lions.
He's gonna go there
He
and
needs to be a Lion.
he's gonna go replace Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah, that would be a great move. I really think that needs to be.
He'd fit right.
He would
in.
fit right. Yeah,
that hard nose.
dude, he
Campbell
epitomizes
football.
Detroit. Like I feel like he's exactly that. I agree. Like the Raiders claim to be that type of way. No, Detroit for sure. Like just hardworking blue collar people.
Yeah.
And he doesn't care what people think, and they don't either. Like I don't know. I
see the Titans trying to get rid of Jeffrey Simmons.
They should. If they're a
Because-
proactive franchise.
Because for one, he's been a Titan staple, but he hasn't performed the past couple of years. He's making a crap ton of money. He's not going to win anything this year or next year with the Titans.
No.
You need to do right by him like you did right by Derrick Henry, letting him walk. Send him somewhere where he can...
And get back more than just a 4th round pick, please.
Yeah, the value of picks, I'll always be confused by in the NFL.
Yeah.
You'll see, like surely these guys aren't bogging down your salary that much to where you're willing to just take back almost nothing. You know what I mean?
Right.
How are you not getting back at least a second?
Yeah.
On
Or a
some of these
4th and a player.
Like I can understand when they traded Hopkins the other day for getting the 4th.
It's a 5th with
Because-
a conditional...
Right.
Conditional
So I can understand. He's an older player. He, in my opinion, played really well last year, but he's definitely fallen off from where he was at. And again, he's older. So I feel like that was a fair deal. But yeah, with what Peyton was saying, like it seems like so often now that there's guys you wouldn't expect to get as high of a value with these, first, second, third round picks, and then guys who you do expect that are like getting traded for a bag of chips.
Well, it's like...
What's the Titans?
They always refer, like when a receiver gets traded for a bag of balls or whatever, they always refer back to when Randy Moss got traded to the Patriots for just a 6th round pick.
Yeah.
Like how you were able to pull that off is incredible, but it hasn't changed much since then. Like they will give you anything for a guy.
Anything else we got?
Yeah, Bama basketball tips off tonight, baby. Starting college basketball season off strong against UNC Asheville.
Y'all heard it here first. Bama basketball starts tonight. So this is going to be a part of our new schedule and segment of doing things. So we're going to go to a Monday, Friday format. So on Mondays, we'll be doing our recap, emphasis on cap because that's our name, and just, talking about what's happened this previous weekend in sports, mainly college and pro football. And then on Fridays, we'll be talking about a preview for the upcoming weekend for sports, again, mainly college and pro football until, we get more into the NBA season and so forth. And then the following Wednesday, we'll just do Wednesdays. So it'll be like a Monday, Friday format, and then Wednesday, and then we'll roll back to Monday, Friday, and just keep going like that. But then on those Wednesdays, it'll be a longer show. So we're going to try to keep these Monday, Fridays shorter, and then on the Wednesdays will be our longer ones. So we can get in a better habit, in a better schedule, and not keeping them as long, but a little more consistency and just get the information out to y'all quicker.
Yep. So when this video comes out, it'll be a couple days, obviously, before Friday. But Friday, we are going to try to also have a live stream going. So please make sure you tune in. We will post it beforehand, but we're going to try to set up a live stream to get you guys ready for the upcoming weekend because we have a huge Alabama and LSU
night game,
elimination game.
Yeah, it is.
It's an elimination game for both teams. So make sure you come back. Like I said, we will post and let you guys know ahead of time if it will be live. We're going to try our hardest to make it happen. May even have a special guest on. We will work that out and let you know. But yeah, guys.
It's Nick Saban.
It's Nick. Yeah. But guys, as always, thank you for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next one. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Roll credits.
Make sure you don't look at your phone and your
I'm-
hat has to be.
Oh, okay. She said my hat has to be backwards.
All right, we're good.